So last weekend, UFC legend Brandon Moreno won his fight against Steve Erceg. It was a close fight. At least I would argue it was a close fight. And Brandon Moreno came out on top. And obviously that puts him further up in the rankings, but most importantly, further up towards the belt. Brandon Moreno is a former champion. He had the belt before, and he had, lost it. Now he's on a journey back to it. He wants to fight Alexandre Pantoja and correct his loss to Pantoja previously, or his loss to Pantoja from before. The problem I have with it is that, I'm tired of seeing Brandon Moreno fight Alexandre Pantoja. It almost always goes the same way. And I don't think Brandon Moreno has added anything entirely different that's going to give him a better chance against Pantoja. I'm a big fan of Alexandre Pantoja. Not really entirely because of his fighting style, but more so because of his story. I can relate to a lot of it. With that being said, Pantoja, he's got this fighting style that I talk about all the time that is completely reliant on his chin. Everything. The moment Pantoja's chin cracks and he gets slept is the moment his whole career just fucking crumbles, because Pantoja's entire fighting style relies on it. His fighting style is basically him eating punches, moving forward, throwing some of his own, but most importantly moving forward and eventually laying on top of his opponent, executing some plan to bring his opponent to the ground and just, holding him there, getting a lot of ground control time and winning the fight based off of that after eating a bunch of punches and getting him to the ground. That's basically been his strategy every single time. And since then, Pantoja's striking has also made some improvements. When he fought Kai Asakura, he looked like he was trading back with Kai. And Kai Asakura is a very fast fighter, and he was trading back. He was landing some really good punches back on Kai. So his striking is also improving at a good rate, So the culmination of all of that is basically, stating that Alexandre Pantoja is really close to becoming a fully complete fighter. I wouldn't say Pantoja's quite the complete fighter. Like I said, his striking is improving, but it's not like tippity top level. It's more so Pantoja's ground game and his chin that has gotten him to where he is right now. But what's really important about what I'm saying is that Pantoja's close to becoming a complete fighter. And complete fighters are dangerous as hell because they can get at their opponent in every aspect of the game, in every aspect of the sport, whether it's on the ground, on the feet, in the clinch, anywhere. And that's what Pantoja is aiming for. And, good on him for that. And I'm happy as a fan. That being said, again, I don't think Brandon Moreno can do anything different. I think if Brandon Moreno gets another title shot against Pantoja after Pantoja is able to get through Kai Kara-France or Manil Kape, whoever the UFC puts up against Pantoja and Pantoja ends up fighting, if Pantoja ends up the victor and Brandon Moreno is given the title shot immediately after Pantoja's win, so that means Pantoja is fights Brandon Moreno next. If at any point in the future Pantoja fights Brandon Moreno, I don't know what Brandon does different. I think the fight ends up the same way the other previous fights have ended up. I think Brandon just, I don't see what he can do different. That's really the bottom line. I think Brandon has a decent amount of power, but not enough to crack Pantoja's chin. And, Brandon Moreno isn't like helpless on the ground, but I would argue he's not skilled there enough to reverse positions or, use Pantoja's fighting style against him and end up being in control of Pantoja on the ground and making it a bad area for him. I don't see that happening. I see the same shit happening. Pantoja moves forward. Brandon Moreno tries his flowy, artistic boxing shit that he does, which is cool, but again, not that effective on a guy that's just going to eat your punches, move forward, and drag you to the ground. That's what Pantoja does. That's what Pantoja's done, and that's what I think Pantoja will probably always do moving forward. And that's what he'll definitely do in a fight against Brandon Moreno. So I don't see what Brandon can do different. I see Pantoja fighting him and just doing the same shit he's done. And that's really it. So I really don't want to see Brandon Moreno fight Pantoja for the 50,000th time. I really just want to see fresh faces face Pantoja. That being said, Pantoja is really close to just lapping the division if they keep throwing the same guys at him. Like, the UFC is literally running out of opponents to throw at Pantoja. And if Pantoja is able to get through his final test in Kai France, who may have enough power to break his chin, Pantoja is, I think he's got a damn good chance of passing Demetrius Johnson as the flyweight GOAT, A, and also B, probably making it pretty high on the all-time UFC fighter list. I really do. He's impressive. And, you know, if he's even able to move to bantamweight and conquer that division, he'll go up even higher. You know, damn near try to challenge for top 3, top 2, top 1, you know. I know it's still far in the future, but you still got to look at it the way I am, in terms of this guy is here. He's been using the same game plan. It's been working time and time again. And I don't know if anybody could stop him. The final test to see if he can be stopped is Kai France. And we'll see if that can happen. But overall, let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Most importantly, turn the notifications on. I love you guys. Stay tuned. Turn the notifications on for my channel so you're notified about my next video. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next.